Alright everyone, welcome back to Be Mother Reviews. Today we've got another Star Wars life-size bust from Sideshow Collectibles. This is of course the best thing to come out of the prequel movies, Darth Maul. One of the coolest Star Wars characters around. This is actually the second life-size bust of the character from Sideshow, so we're going to compare to that. We're going to talk sculpt and design, we're going to talk paint, mixed media, a little production quality, and find out if this bust is worthy to be on your shelf. So let's kick off the review right now. Alright, so Darth Maul is absolutely one of the most awesome characters to come out of Star Wars. I think most people know who this guy is, so we're just going to skip straight into sculpt and design for this review. And you see we pulled the hood back so we can see all of his head in all of its glory. This statue was sculpted by Matthew Black, and he seems to be one of the go-to guys for Sideshow when it comes to actor likenesses or movie character likenesses. And he's done a great job on this one. Now I mentioned this is the second Darth Maul life-size bust, and the first one, I've never seen it in person, but looking at it, it looks a little bit more stiff. He's gritting his teeth, he's baring his teeth at you. This one looks a little bit more natural to me, and quite honestly, it's got the look that I first think of when I think of the character. And we'll take a closer look at it here. He's got a very emotionless expression on his face, which is perfect for the character, but there's lots of little subtle details to bring out the expression. You look at the wrinkles around the brow, where it comes together at his nose. You got these little subtle wrinkles in his forehead. The raising of his cheeks around his nostrils in here. He looks cold and menacing and mean. Yeah, this is perfect for the character. There are other little details to give it some nice realism. You look at the back of the neck. It's got those subtle little wrinkles at the back of his neck where your skin would fold, and that continues around the front of his neck, under his jawline as well. Now the skin texture is there. I think it could have been amped up a little bit more. You don't want it to overpower the piece, but a little bit heavier skin texture I think could have just pumped up the realism a little bit more on this piece. You look at the ear here, he's got the earring in that ear. The horns coming out of his head, they have almost like a tree trunk type texture, very carved bone looking horns, and I think they look very, very nice as well. So overall, this is a really, really nice sculpt. Couple little things that I think could have put it over the edge. I mentioned the skin texture. The other area for me is the lips. The lips are very smooth, almost no wrinkles or any existence of skin there at all. And I think they could have done some more wrinkles in there, some more texturing in the lips area to give it, again, a little bit of elevated realism. But overall, I think this is a fabulous sculpt of the character. Alright, we're going to talk paint and mixed media on this statue. And you'll notice the base, it's all black. This is very similar to the Boba Fett base. I did review the most recent Boba Fett life-size bust, so hopefully if they continue the line, they keep the bases consistent, because that'll be a nice look on the shelves. Now the character himself, really, really nice paint job. I like what they've done. There's some subtle orangey tones in the red areas, super clean lines. There's no messing up between the black and the red at all. It looks absolutely perfect. The eyes are also painted, and that'll lead me to one of my beefs with the piece, and I'll talk more about that next segment. Although these do look kind of nice, they got the yellow and the reds and the oranges there to give him that unique color of eyes that he's known for. Mixed media on this statue. You got 3 different layers of material here. You got his sort of undershirt here, which is a nice thick material, and they've given it this rows of stitching up around the collar for some nice textured detail there. Then you got his sort of outer shirt or robes. It's a wrinkly material, kind of a wavy material there, so it differentiates it from the shirt. And then finally you got the outer cloak and hood, which is a nice thick woven black material and looks really, really good. And it's a nice quality feeling material. So great job, I think, on the mixed media. Now, one thing I'll note is this is not my statue. This is my friend Marco's statue, so thank you to Marco for lending it to review. One thing that he did with the piece, before I flip the hood up, is he kind of padded the shoulders a little bit, and he just put a little piece of cardboard there. You can see here under the shoulders to just give it a little bit more volume in that area. And I probably don't have it quite up to his standards here. He futzes with it quite a bit, but you get the idea. So if I pull those out, you can see it kind of loses that volume in the shoulder area. So it's just a little tip. If you're looking to give it a little bit more of a larger than life look, you can do that. You can also flip the hood up as well, and it is a bit of a tight fit over these horns, so just be careful as you do that. But you can give him his hooded look as well, and you can kind of play around with the material and get it to look just the way you like it. But overall, on this piece, the paint and the mixed media look excellent. All right, we're going to move on. Production and build quality for the statue. Now, the statue just breaks down into two pieces. It's a very simple assembly. You got the base, you got the bust, and it just slips down onto the base nice and easy. It's worth mentioning the packaging does not come with an art box. I know some people don't like that. It's two brown, just plain brown cardboard boxes. Ultimately, I don't really care as long as the statue gets to me in one piece, but worth mentioning because I know some people really like the art boxes. So overall, it's a good quality feeling piece. It's got a nice weight to it, and most people are going to be pretty happy with it overall. My one beef with this piece in terms of production quality comes down to the eyes. Now, I mentioned that they're fully painted and they do look okay. There's room to improve there. You look at what other companies are doing, like Queen Studios or Infinity Studios, and they've elevated the level of realism to something we've never seen before. And I don't expect Sideshow to do exactly what they're doing. I mean, those are $3,000-$4,000 busts by the time you get them shipped over. But there's room to improve. Some glass eyes or acrylic eyes in this guy could have really put it over the top and made it one of the absolute best Darth Maul pieces around. Now, as I said, it still looks pretty good. It's a nice quality piece, but there's definite room to improve from Sideshow. All right, it's time to wrap up this review. We got the Darth Maul life-size bust from Sideshow Collectibles. Now, I know that if you took a screen cap from the movie and placed it beside the statue, you'd be able to pick out little things, little minutiae with the likeness and, pick it apart. But for me, ultimately, this statue is going to look tremendous on your shelves. I think this is quintessential Darth Maul, and almost exactly what I think of for the character. Now, the sculpt, it's subtle, but he has a very cold, evil-looking expression on his face. I mean, you take one look at this guy, and you know that he would cut you in half with that lightsaber and not even blink an eye. It's perfect for this character. The paint is excellent. I like the colors. It's a very clean paint job. The mixed media, as I mentioned, nice quality feeling materials all around, so they've done a great job there. Nice quality feeling piece, got a good weight to it. Goes together nice and easy. The one criticism I have is I think that the realism could be elevated by just doing a couple little things. A little bit heavier skin texture to give it a little bit more of a realistic look. The lips as well could have been textured a little bit more. Not quite so smooth again. And the eyes. That's the number one thing is the eyes. I want to see Sideshow start doing those glass or acrylic eyes to give that extra added realism to their pieces. I mean, you see other companies doing it even in 1/4 scale statues, so I don't think there's any reason why Sideshow can't be doing it in their busts, and I think that would just elevate them to new levels. Just that one thing. Other than that, it's an excellent piece. I think Darth Maul fans, this is probably the one I think to have on your shelves. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned to the channel. There's always more to come on the channel, and we'll talk to you guys soon.